see. Let me find the button.
All right, I'm recording now, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it. There we go.
Thanks for checking it out. By the way, these movies, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think I'm recording now. It's starting. Let me see. It says starting, but there we go. I can see the timer now.
Okay.
All right, so I'll get it started. Here we go. All right. YouTube, here we are. Wmpyr, how you doing?
Damn, really good.
All right. Okay, so what are we going to talk about tonight? Set it off.
All right.
We got
the
Outerworld?
Yeah, Outerworlds, which we already established that there's different titles for this, but
yeah.
And it said 1994, but you said actually it's older than that.
I think I IMDb'd it, and it was 87 / 94, so it may have been released. I watched the credits at the end.
Yes.
It's copywritten in 2004 by Philip Cook, the writer.
Philip Cook, okay. Based off of what's his face, the guy that did Blade Runner story, the original story, right?
That's right. I think so. I think it definitely feels a lot like Philip K. Dick. Although the guy has a real similar name,
right.
I think it's like Philip J. Cook is the name of the writer for this one.
But I think this is the original story is a Philip K. Dick.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's right out of the playbook, man. I mean, it's got the formula and everything. But I did want to say, like right from the start, like, did you get like an alien vibe without the xenomorph? Like she's a girl. She's sort of not like Ripley, but remember Ripley becomes a clone. Like in this case, Pentan's a cyborg, right?
Yeah. They called her a synth.
Synthetic human or genetic, but and I think that's another one of those Philip K. Dick like words. Like he invented a lot of those sci-fi words. Wow. What a story. Let's get right into it, man. Like, I don't want to jump ahead too far.
Okay, real quick. I saw it on Tubi, right? Tubi TV?
Yeah.
So the viewers, if they want to check it out, this is rare, I think. It would be kind of hard to find. Really worth it.
It is a great movie. I mean, it blew me away. Like,
awesome.
The music is incredible.
The music is good. Yeah.
The music, like it's got that thematic music that in certain scenes it has certain music, and it repeats that same music when those scenes are similar. Like
almost like a John Carpenter synth style, but whatchamacallit, the one thing, like you were saying, that the graphics, the CGI and stuff, for the time they did good. There's models that they used, practical effects and stuff. But the one thing for me was the audio for when they're talking. You know how like in films they record one more time after they film it, and then they it really sounds like it's in a state like a
rough draft, right?
Like a sound studio that they recorded in. It sounds bad, the audio wise of them doing the dialogue. But other than that, I like you, I was pretty blown away. Yeah,
man, it was something else. The tech, like she puts on that thing. She's got the tape. They call it a tape.
Yeah,
it's a tape deck. She puts it in there, memorizes it. It's like
that's like Johnny Mnemonic, right? Where she downloads it into her brain.
Yeah, she downloads it right into the brain, and like you see the little graphics and like the little numbers and things on the screen, and you're like, wow, yeah.
So this lady, Pentan, she is genetically engineered. So they made her. The corporations made her, because they have corporate wars basically.
Yeah, so they made her to protect the corporations from anyone that was going to disrupt or overturn the corporations.
Yeah, and so she's basically an assassin, a super soldier.
Yeah. And with no country, she doesn't belong to anyone except the corporation. Like, she has no identity.
She's not even a human. Remember, they're saying you don't even have human rights because she's like an
but
asset.
At the first scene, at the beginning, when she's in the limousine with her boss, who's second in command of the company,
right?
She's sitting there and she's complaining to him about, like, I want my freedom and my emotion, and he's talking to her like without skipping a beat, like he knows exactly what she's talking to. So you have to watch the movie a couple times to catch this, but they're both on the same level, where at the extreme end of the movie, toward the end, where he's telling his boss, hey man, we made him with, we engineered her with these emotions.
We had to put
turn them on or off.
Yeah.
And we'll get to this point later in the talk, but this is foreshadowing that he and she are both on the level, like, they know that something's up. They know she's not just a synth person. Like, she's a little bit beyond, like Ghost in the Shell or any of these other adaptations of this same basic principle. Like, this is a sentient being that wants its freedom. Her freedom in this case.
It's gonna be AI that woke up completely.
Like, she's enlightened and she can.
And it's like Crying Freeman in a way. It's against her will. She's a super assassin.
Yes.
She doesn't want to kill the target. She's like, do I have to kill the target? And it's like, yes, you have to kill the target.
She doesn't take those, like, North world people out, like the North world, I forget what they're called. She takes one of them out, but then the other one, she kind of like just tells them, stand still.
Right.
She cuts the briefcase away from him to get the tape.
And the story behind that's super interesting, that the Earth, they found this like ancient artifact, alien artifact, right?
Yes.
And that propelled our technology like crazy. And that was a historical, big, huge moment. It was it sounded like it was an abandoned artifact. And
like a spaceship. I think it's an abandoned spaceship that belongs to a race of people that we don't know who they are,
and
but
they're
they
long
call it
gone.
Like the Tesseract or something like Tesseract from the Marvel, but Tesseract or something like that.
And they're long gone, you know. They're right, and there's no trace or. And we found one of those things, and it propelled our civilization
like light speed, faster than light speed, and all these marvels of technology that just enhanced our way of life. I think the setting is like in the early 21st century, like 2154 or something like that. I'm getting confused.
Maybe,
but it's in the you know, it's kind of relatively near future.
Right, and that was a huge moment for civilization. And then where this movie begins, they found another artifact way far away. What was it in Pluto or I don't know, Mars?
It's the 32nd planet in the galaxy, or they call it something. She has a name for it.
Oh, that's right. It's mega far. Yeah, it's super far away.
But they call it Halcyon. I think the Halcyon system, and it's the Elysium planet.
The Elysium planet. Yeah. So now they got to go. The corporations are not battling, but whoever claims it first, that corporation's going to be mega rich. So
and it's these guys, Norwegian something. And they're the ones that have that briefcase that she takes both of those couriers out.
Yeah.
They found it. One of their guys found it, but he died somehow.
Yes.
And just transmitted. He sent down a probe, kind of like in Empire Strikes Back, you know, the probe. So he sends down a probe, and it gives back this image of this spaceship, and somehow he dies, but... Yeah. That's it. Like these guys, these corporations, it's cutthroat. Like they want. This is probably like $quadrillion. It's like Wayland Corporation level.
Oh, it's totally Wayland level. Yeah, because I mean, this is gonna change humanity.
Yep. So for sure, this is the second one of these spaceship things. So they send her off.
She backstabs her own corporation.
Yes. Yeah, the train scene. She's right there on the train, and that's where he says, like, she's what did he like she's flown the coop, or what's the word that he uses?
Oh,
turn sides.
Yeah,
defected.
Right, she defected.
Like in the Cold War terms, because if it's from the 80s, like it's Cold War type of, you know.
And so he presses the button, which is like Escape from New York, where
activates a stroke,
and it kills her. Like what? She has like 48 hours
72,
or something.
72.
72 hours, and so she within that time span needs to get over to Elysium, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And she has like a whole tactic strategy inside her brain.
Oh yeah, because there's one man that can save her, the guy that created her, and he's on that planet. Which is in that system.
Yes.
He's not. I don't think he's on that planet, but he's within the system.
Right. Where
they found that Tesseract structure, and she ends up getting to him, which is a good thing.
Yeah. So that guy definitely is on the way, and he's you could tell that he has a soft spot for her.
Oh yeah.
So he helps her.
He's separated by light years. I think I love the way they do the light year travel in this movie with the model, and they got the lights set up. Like the graphics are great. It really brings me back to the movies of back in the day. It's a great watch. If you can find it on, I mean, obviously you and I watched it, but for anyone that can't find it on the web or see it, like if you can buy it, wow, that would be awesome.
It'll be awesome. So, and I think it was originally made for TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
which is
that's why it has that like double release. I think it was released in '87, and then re-released in '94, like on video, possibly. I don't know a lot about it. I didn't look back into it. I was just overwhelmed by the story. It was so incredible.
It's really cool. And then from there, her own corporation now is after her. Like they're
after her on the Promethean. Like it's a large scale, just like research cargo vessel combo everything. It's like a mini city.
Yeah, but even before that's before she takes off, like because she has a lot of trouble. Taking off. It's not like she could just immediately go on the space travel to get to the artifact. No, she has to because it's almost like you're trying to thwart they're almost like government level.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, the corporation.
Like she's hiding behind a couple crates, and she spies a dude that's talking to some, enforcers, local enforcers, like, hey, you owe us some money. What's going on? He's like a Han Solo smuggler type of dude, and he's got you see his awesome red ship. It stands out.
Yeah.
All the other ships are like white and silver and normal colors, and this one like stands out. Like, so he's a star.
Yeah.
So she's sort of looking, and she sees like, okay, so she walks up there. At this point, we in the audience, we know that she's tough.
Yeah, we know she's trained. Yeah.
Like a Terminator level. Like she can hit you with a back fist and knock you 10 feet into the wall.
Yeah.
And sure enough, these guys,
the thugs,
they mouth off to her, and
big mistake.
One thing leads to another, and she ends up saving this guy, and they walk into his ship, and wow, the set pieces are remarkable. It's just it's so like clean. The ship looks like straight out of almost Alien mixed with Star Wars together. Remember when the first Alien, when they're waking up and they're all kind of getting into that general area, but they're coming out of their little
the pods.
Like, but it sort of has that vibe, but way like on the Star Wars level where it's kind of like crisscross for me. I don't know how to explain it. Words can't describe it, but it's a really awesome ship on the inside. Like,
I mean, it definitely
it
looks like a ship where you feel like, they could go on a journey together, that they're going to be in this ship together. It's kind of believable, Yeah,
it's kind of like the Millennium Falcon vibe of the ship.
Yes.
What I mean, but it's also like not in a galaxy far away. It's actually like within, I think I said 2154, but I think it's like 2050s is the setting.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a lot closer to our period right now.
Right now. Right,
Yes.
Yeah. So they finally able to take off. Actually, like you said, she not only saves his butt physically from a beating that he was about to get, but she also offers him probably the most money he's had ever, a job. She said, "You drive me to Elysium, you know, and
$8,000 US dollars, and she
right,
gives it to him, and she gives him 6,000 up front. So right there, like he gets like a big chunk.
Yeah,
and she doesn't pull any punches. She's like, "Oh, what? You got to go pay some bills?" Because he says like, "We'll leave when at first light in dawn." You know.
Yeah.
He says something like,
"Yeah,"
and right away. So he goes, takes care of the bills with those thugs that were after him, and he gets everything squared away. But what we kind of look at and we get just a glimpse is that she checks out his plasma laser.
That's right.
Or something that's on that ship that the camera actually goes down and reads, and it says plasma gun something.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it what it is, but there's a definite moment, and that's where we in the audience are being shown.
Yeah.
On purpose, like, hey, this is because later it comes up and they talk about it, and she says, hey, this is not registered and it's illegal, and you know, so they kind of, because she's got a supercomputer up in her head,
right?
And you gotta somehow figure that she's either Wi-Fi connected to the net, or she's just got an immense memory that she can access and navigate that database.
She's had that training from all those elite people, you know, that had trained her in combat, flying ships, weaponry, all that stuff. And she tells them later that was one of the deciding factors why she chose him.
That's exactly it. Yeah. That weapon on his ship.
Mm-hmm. But they develop a romance.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, like in a weird way, like because like the dude's a loner, so right away, like any like you know normal coming of age young man is gonna watch this movie and you're like, oh yeah, that's me. But then like, hey, wait, like, do you really, is that really you? Because you ended up falling in love with a robot, like, but a robot in this case is sentient. She's got emotions. She's far beyond just a synthetic. We find out later.
Yeah, and you know, like when you say robot, I mean, this is, I mean, everything is, you know, this is a live human. Yeah, it's just here that's not, right?
See, that's a derogatory term. Yeah. Like, it's like I'm using it as a slur, and that's because that's what you're thinking, like I'm thinking, and all of us are thinking. But as we change by watching this movie, we remove those veils from our own eyes, and she no longer is a robot. She's a person, a living being, because they go through this dialogue, like a forth and back, where they're like, "Do you trust me?" And "Yes, I trust you." And it's just incredible. Well, the love story.
She was telling him that she's trained to seduce.
Yes.
So and they're obviously falling in love, and he's like
they got the look.
Yeah, and he's like, hey,
her.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm, you know, I don't want to lie to you because I know all the skills and the techniques, but you know, I don't feel anything. And she keeps saying that, and he's like, well, just do it and see how you feel, kind of thing. Like, just you know, let it go, kind of thing. And she's already like, you know, she's just trying to be by the book and saying, I'm not programmed that way or whatever. But you can totally tell that they're...
Because, she's made of human genes. She's made of human parts. So,
right.
And we know that now, going back for the second viewing, that at the beginning when she's talking to her boss, there's obviously that they both know. Like, she is alive, she's got emotions, and all, it could be a problem.
All that stuff in the past where she probably had to do, like, seduction and then assassinate the guy and stuff like that, she was probably... I'm not going to say she was fine with it, but she did it, you know, probably numerous...
Well, it was a job, but I'm sure it hurt her on the inside. I think that's where you're going. Like, it was taking its toll on her.
Yeah, it was taking its toll on her. And then with this guy, she wants it to be different and special. And honestly, the two actors, I didn't really feel chemistry acting-wise. I didn't. But the characters... like you're saying, is excellent story.
Yeah, the story is just it tells itself.
Yeah.
I don't really know who they are. Never heard of them. The babe is sort of like a 7. I mean, like, it's. I'm with you, but when they're acting out their parts, it's just you're there, like you're part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was there, just and. Like she has these eyes because there's not really much going on. So she does a lot of face acting, where she'll make a face and we have to presume what she's thinking. And they do this well in the movie because I mean, really, there's only like 4 or 5 characters. There's the main boss, and then his second in command,
which is her direct boss,
the sort of NPC pilots that we don't really know them, but there's 8 of them. And then that's about it. Like her doctor, and then this guy, the 2 thugs.
Yeah.
So it's a real short, small cast of characters. This movie is built on an incredible story, and we're really only like halfway through. They make it there, and they finally get to this planet, and they discover the thing. When they walk in, like on the outside, it looks like a broken spaceship with a little hole where like an explosion occurred, and it's like a doorway that you could walk in. Like it's literally a hole as big as a door. So we'll just call it the door. When they walk in that door, you expect to see another awesome chamber like his ship. White interior, beautiful cabinets and tables. You see a black hole and a galaxy spinning, and they're floating in like a weird.
It's wild,
Twilight Zone. They're floating in a black sky, with a galaxy spinning, and then stars like electrons that are like 1 or 2 like orange dots that just kind of like the way my hands are going like that. So really, really, great use of that psychedelic, But no, there was no exchange or anything. Like they don't even bat an eye. They're just like, oh yeah, here we are.
That's alien tech.
They don't even. It doesn't faze them at all. That they just walked into they're floating in the abyss.
And the guy says this is what got me into the
space.
Because he is a pilot. Right, that flies out there, but
legitimate pilot.
Yeah, and and for her, this is just a job, really.
Yeah, because he saw it in high school, the landing, when they discovered that
the first,
out in Jupiter or wherever they discovered it, the first one.
Yeah,
it happened in when he was in high school. So for him, it was a life-changing thing. A lot of things that happened to us in high school.
Yeah,
I think that's what makes this story great. Is that it's a coming-of-age story, no matter what. At what point you're watching it. As an adult, you can watch it and you're thinking about maybe a past love or a current love or some, because they have a romantic interest. But then also if you're a kid, you can, and you're in high school, you can think, wow, look, this is, I can aspire to become this, and a great pilot or a great hero, an asset to the world. They end up saving the world with in their way, because well, I don't want to give it away too much. We're there. They walk out of the ship, and then they say, "What's next? We got to call the." It's weird how they call it the UN, like the United Nations.
That's right. They have to claim it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to make a claim, like international waters, and they find the discovery. They're the first ones, so they have to make the claim. But right when they're going to make the claim, in comes the Promethean, which is the mothership, her boss, and the corporation, and those 8 stingers, or I don't know what they call them, but they're like X-wings.
They're called Tulwars.
Yes, that's right. You got the word. You know what's up. That's why, you're...
But, and they basically land, and they're like, you are not going to claim this. You checkmate. You lost.
Yeah,
that's what her boss, the Japanese guy.
Wow, but then she turns on her boyfriend.
Right, but that was to because
it's all a ruse.
Yeah. Because she was like, okay, so the guy tells her, checkmate, you lost, but you're such a valuable commodity. Come back to us. And then, she's like, logically, what you're saying makes sense. Okay, I'll go back to you guys. And they're like, yeah, she's logical. So, yeah, she's back with us. They believe it, And
I think she uses her own training and all her awareness, and she infiltrates them. So now she's one of us in the resistance.
Yes.
But she's infiltrated them. So it's a total character arc development. Like, she went from sort of being their puppet and their tool, and then became self-aware, falls in love.
Yes.
And then now she's infiltrating for the kill.
Right. And basically, this is really smart of her, but I mean, so they're like, get on your ship and let's go back to the or get in the ship and we're gonna go back to our home base, right?
Yeah, to the mothership.
Yeah, to the mothership.
They got a dock.
But in her brain, she's like, I need a weapon. And that's like the best weapon that you can have is a freaking, space jet. And so the moment she gets on, she starts attacking them pretty much,
Tallward, right? Is that what they're called? Tallward?
Tallward.
Yeah, no, I mean, those things move like a TIE fighter, like an X-Wing. It's the best. Did you watch like that new Top Gun? I don't know if you watched it or not.
No, I haven't.
I watched the new Top Gun, and they do like a weird move where the spaceship, like, like it just kind of like does like a weird.
Oh, really?
Flip.
Wow. Yeah.
And like the Tallward, you know how they do that like flip like that? Like in the movie they do 2 of them, I think, where she's dogfighting with the space guys up there, and she does like a flip. Man, that's awesome. They maneuver so well. No. That's why I was telling you that it is on another level in terms of storytelling compared to some of the stuff that I saw with Mandalorian and this newer high-tech, what we would call brand name
bigger
sci-fi.
Budget.
Mainstream
mainstream stuff. Yeah. No, and the part that I really like was, she's taking them all out. And so they bring out some other Tall Wars with nukes on them, right?
Yes.
And what she does is like that weird move that you're talking about, and she hugs the asteroid.
She parks it,
She parks it right on there, and it's the shield, and so she survives the nuke blast.
Yeah.
And which was really cool. And then she just
it was cool the way they made it seem, because she took damage and her ship started smoking.
It did take damage, yes.
So they didn't they didn't play it off like it was
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they really did take the time on that. I liked that. The details.
No, it's great. And then of course they end up blowing up one of their own ships, and they had a nuke, and it blows them up, not her for some reason.
I was curious about that. Like, that second one, she was so close to that second one.
You'd think, because she was pursuing,
the first one, she had the asteroid, and it almost took her out. But the second one, I don't know what happened. Hey, high gear.
Don't mess with the story, right? But
don't want to mess with the story.
And the other thing is when her and the guy, I guess when they were traveling to Elysium, I kind of wish there was more of the traveling. But then it's like, how long do you want this movie to be?
Yeah.
Right. So it
was almost just right. Like it could have been a little more, but like you said, it might have taken away. But we don't know that she survives the blast until the last moment, where he goes back to the Tesseract structure,
and then she comes out. Yeah, that's right.
And he hears the jet, the engines of the Tallward, and sees, and then of course the music just erupts, and I think it's like their love theme, that piano theme.
Yeah.
And the music is just incredible.
It is good.
Each scene had its own theme music that would repeat accordingly to the scene, and I liked that a lot. especially the piano love romance between them. It's really good.
So, well, I mean, for me, what's awesome, like we're from a martial arts point of view, she is a trained assassin. This is basically
chess master.
Yeah, chess master. This is basically Born Identity in the future.
It is. It's straight out of Born Identity because she takes the cash out and she sees. Remember, he sees the girl Franca Potente, and he inside haggling at the counter, and then he comes out to her car.
Right.
Happens to see her.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, like where she's spying on the dude. Mm-hmm. He's having to battle it out with words with these guys, like, "Hey, I'll pay you later. Just give me a chance." And so it's straight out of Born Identity, and the music is just like Born Identity that has its own theme music with each scene.
This movie, is really nice. I wouldn't, if they ever make a newer version, I'm gonna be interested. I don't expect it to be better than this, but I'm still gonna be interested.
I think it's a great movie. It's got its quirks where we obviously see some of the dated CGI and the model work, but if you stick around for the credits, you can see a lot of the people. I even saw like the name Danny Aiello 3, and Danny Aiello is like a famous actor from when back in our time. So I saw Danny Aiello the 3rd. So
Jacob Slatter.
Of the stuntmen.
Jacob Slatter, man. Yeah.
So it could be one of the. He was listed as one of the stuntmen.
Nice.
Interesting that like these movies are kind of cool, like where you can see how they're really working hard back in that time.
Yeah.
And aside from those things, I mean, it's pretty timeless. It compares really well with stuff that we see right now.
I think so. It's because it has a solid story. It just solid, does.
From start to finish.
Yeah.
I do agree with you that they could probably make some more, but I don't know if they would be completely related to this story because it seems like a great like start and finish. I know like somehow I have in my head that they go off and they build a family.
Right. Yeah.
They're so in love, and it turns out that could be like part 2. Like she ends up being a real person, and not only is she liberated from the corporation, but from her own mental prison where she doesn't believe in herself, and it turns out that she could.
And that's the big one for her, really. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So I think we covered just about everything we need for this.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because it's like they're given the keys to civilization pretty much with that machinery that they capture.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it for anybody that hasn't seen this movie, and just for people that are looking for something that is sci-fi and they're just yearning for a great story and some good visuals. This is it right here. Just check this movie out.
This is worth it. Yeah.
The stuff that we're getting right now in 2023 has great imagery, but that's it. It's like there's a lot of missing elements of the stories, and this is a legitimate story where I did mention to you, Wmpyr, I thought a little bit of Alien, like maybe if Ripley and Bishop had a baby, she would be the baby because she's synthetic human, like Bishop.
Yeah.
But she's got the emotions of Ripley. Obviously, she's a woman.
Yeah.
So, these are things that we didn't really talk about in depth, but I am thinking about this stuff because these are the movies that we have to go by in this period in the 90s or in the late 80s. That's Alien is Ripley, and what else?
And the other thing is, like, we don't really get to see her from the previous. I mean, her doing her jobs, it definitely is probably like the movie Leon the Professional, where she's just like perfect, or
a machine.
La Femme Nikita, just freaking pulling off impossible missions.
Methodical and just doing things that you can't believe, like a miracle.
Anime-wise would be like Golgo 13. You know,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure,
like that
totally.
guy, and she's pulling all that off, and then we're seeing the where she's
Yep,
like she
yep.
doesn't want any more of this, and the
And
humanity side's coming through, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so the AI is awakening. That
yeah, yeah. And once it does, it's like it's especially in cemented in her programming. Only kill when necessary.
right.
And she does bring it up with
Yes.
her friend that, oh well, it was necessary to take them out. So yeah, I really like the movie. I totally recommend it. I think we can pause here, and
Okay. Okay.
this is a good stopping point for this one. So Outer World Beyond the Rising Moon is the one that I watched. I don't know the title that you watched, but
It was just Outer Worlds, but I know there's yet another title that I
yeah,
think sounds totally. It has
yeah,
nothing to do
totally
with
different.
Outer World or yeah. But
It's
anyway,
a great story though, because
awesome.
it talks about all the subjects we love. So
Right up there with Slipstream, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's the awakening,
yeah,
the expanding of consciousness, that changing from man to Superman, and becoming one with everyone, and then that rebirth. It's got all the elements of a great story.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, well, we'll see you all. Thanks a lot, Vampire.
Oh, thank you,
See you next time.
Vampire over out.
Later on.